Hey guys, welcome back to ProgramHub, and today in this episode I'll be guiding you for the best configuration that you can choose in MacBooks as a programmer. So if you're trying to buy a new MacBook and you're confused that what configuration should I choose, so I'll be helping you with my thoughts and tips here in this video. So firstly, if you're a student, if you're getting enrolled into a college for degree in computer science or something, so at that moment of time, one of the best machines that you can go along with would be the MacBook Air with the M1 processor along with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. So that would be one of the best entry level machines for you, because this is one of the machine that can enable you to do any of the tasks. And for learning programming, this is by far one of the best machine that I would recommend you, because the price of this machine is also just $1,000, and this is the base variant, and you can do any sort of work. Like you can use it for documentation work, you can use it for programming, you can use it for presentations. So all the work can be done inside this machine without any problem, without any issues. As well as if you're trying to learn graphic designing, or you're trying to do video editing, or trying to do any other work, so everything can be done inside this machine, along with machine learning, data science. So learning all those things is also very easy and very good inside this machine. There's absolutely no problem. So this is by far one of the best entry level machines what I can recommend to any student or any person who is starting to learn programming. And if you are a freelancer, if you work onto projects, you require much more performance than the 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. So at that moment of time, I would recommend you to upgrade the machine to 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. So that would be one of the best configuration what you can go along with. So on that configuration, you can easily run a very large number of projects, as well as store a large number of files inside the laptop. By the way, I do not recommend you to store the files inside your laptop. So try to have an external SSD or an hard disk so that you can store the files outside your machine. And if at any point of time this gets damaged anyway, so your files and data remains safe. That's what I choose preferably. So guys, this is a clear option that if you're a student or even a freelancer, so MacBook Air with the M1 processor can be one of the best machine for you. Now, who should choose to go along with the MacBook Pro with the M1 processor? So who should be that one person who should be choosing this machine? So let me define it for you. For example, if you're a professional who works on a large number of projects as well as large number of environments, so at that moment of time where you're doing your project work on large number of environments at a single moment of time, as well as using a large number of virtual machines and dedicated systems, database and everything. So at that moment of time, you should be upgrading to the MacBook Pro with the M1 Pro processor, because this has got twice the amount of performance as compared to the M1 processor. This M1 processor has got 4 cores for performance, whereas the M1 Pro has got 8 cores for performance. That is just double of what we can get in the M1. So that's the reason where performance is considered and you are a professional. So at that moment of time, you should be choosing the MacBook Pro with the M1 Pro processor. And this can be one of the best machines also for machine learning as well as data science. So if you're doing data modeling, so if you're doing machine learning training or modeling of the data, so at that moment of time as well, this can be one of the very good machines for you. So for doing any kind of a professional task, this is one of the best machines what you can choose along. And if you need much more better performance for GPU acceleration, so at that moment of time, you can also try to upgrade this machine to M1 Max processor, where you can get 32 cores of GPU. So M1 Max processor will be one of the best options as well for you. And if I just try to summarize the entire thing down over here, that what should one person be choosing? So if you're a student, if you're a freelancer, you should be choosing the MacBook Air with the M1 processor, and this can be one of the best machines to go with. And if you're a professional, so at that moment of time, I would recommend you to go along with the MacBook Pro with the M1 Pro processor. And configuration, the base model configuration would be just enough for you. So you do not need to upgrade this to anything more than what we get into the base model configuration. The base model will be just right for you. And if you do need something more for your work, so you might be knowing about it, like I do need a lot of performance into the RAM performance or into the, we can say, storage. So if you need anything more, you can just upgrade that, but I would not consider anything to be upgraded because we have tried to test this machine for everything and this just works fine, and it's one of the greatest machine what we can get right now. So guys, this is my complete recommendation on this topic, at what configuration you should be choosing, what processor you should be choosing. And if you've got any more doubts, your opinions on this topic, so please leave that down into the comment section. We'll be happy to read that and reply to you. And if you liked our video, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel. Meet you in the next episode. Till then, goodbye.